You guys were right. The whole case is going to have to be split and come apart. I have found some good news. We'll get it running in this episode. Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Thank you so much for joining us. The dumper trucks and the diggers are still here. I'm back in the workshop. There is not a lot of it left, but my new floor is poured and it's looking beautiful. It needs to dry though, so I can't put anything on there yet. And then this side of the workshop, the little sort of ramp on the way up, is looking so smart. I can't wait for you to see. All of this progress will be on the TV show that I'm filming for UK TV. Should be out early next year. I can't wait for you to see it. This Defender, my 110 TD5, is going to be a big part of that TV show as well. It's in the workshop because we're about to do some major work to it. A lot of the parts are laid out here, all ready to go. Filming is going to start next week. So this is all here, ready for filming. Look. Nice shiny new wheels, tyres, suspension. There's a lot that is going to completely transform this 110. Spike is still up that end, working on the gable end. It's coming together, but because that end is so clear, it means that this end of the workshop is in absolute carnage. But it is so good to be back in the workshop. It's Sunday morning and I've got the whole day to just tinker away in the workshop, and it's time to work on the Corgi because it did not run. And I'm gutted. The Corgi is on the bench, and that can only mean one thing. You guys were right, and I'm an idiot. Before we get too far into the video, I need to say a big thank you to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video, but you'll hear more about them later on. We need to get started on this Corgi because I've tried again, it still won't start, same thing. Just spins and won't quite fire. I am trusting you all now. So many of you commented saying it was the crankcase seals that are dried and perished and letting pressure escape. I'm going to take it all back apart, take the engine out of the frame, get it on the bench, have a proper look, see if I can get hold of these crankcase seals to get them replaced. I've got a horrible feeling the whole case is going to have to be split and come apart, but it's not a bad thing because this thing has sat for so long. I wouldn't mind seeing inside anyway. Fingers crossed, we'll get it running in this episode so I can do a lap of this field. A couple of minutes in and I've already got to the first stumbling block. I've taken all the ignition back off, which has been off many times before, and there's a flywheel that's on the crank, which has got the magnets in for like the trigger for when it creates a spark. And it's held on with a taper. So when you do the nut up, it pulls the taper on, they both sort of wedge together and hold it in place. You need a special tool to remove that flywheel, which I don't have. There's a threaded section on the very inside. That's where you would screw the puller off. You screw that on there and it will push against the end of the crank, and that will just gently persuade the flywheel off of the taper on the crank. So I've lost another good hour or two messing around, getting a bit creative with a piece of angle iron and whatever scraps of who knows what I can find in this mess of a workshop to try and make my own puller. It's not ideal to be pulling on there. If I have to put too much force on it, the threads are going to pull out. But I'm really hoping that the taper is not wedged and locked on too tight and it will just break free and come loose. Slow and steady, we'll have to see. This is probably a good time to tell you about today's video sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark is a VPN, which stands for Virtual Private Network. It encrypts my data between my computer, my device, and the rest of the internet. I'm sure you've all seen the news recently. There has been a significant rise in the number of cyber attacks. And it's not just yourself inputting data on fake websites. Huge brands like Co-op, M&S, Harrods, they have had some huge data breaches, putting millions of people's data at risk. M&S estimated that their cyber attack will cost the firm around 300 million. This recent spate of attacks should be a wake-up call for us all to protect ourselves online and use a VPN such as Surfshark to encrypt our data and keep you safe on the internet. Surfshark can even give you alternative IDs when you do need to sign up to these websites, keeping your personal details safe. The best part is that Surfshark has a fantastic offer for viewers of this channel. Go to surfshark.com/DomC, click in the link below in the description, just use code DOMC at the checkout and get 4 extra months free of Surfshark VPN. Why not take advantage of this brilliant offer and protect your data
all in one go. Surfshark offers a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's no risk in trying it out. If it's not for you, you can get your money back. All right, this is looking good.
I can't believe it. I left the camera rolling for so long whilst hammering, tapping, heating, all the things I should not be doing to that sprocket, and went away. I thought, oh, you know what? I'll go and have some lunch. I'll leave it there under pressure, warm, come back and see if I can give it a little tap and it'll come off. I've come back down to the workshop. I was literally gone for like 15 minutes maybe. And literally the puller is on the floor and the sprocket is on the bench. It must have just pinged off, suddenly gave up and shot off. I can't believe it. So, well, I guess it's off. I'm really sorry that the camera wasn't rolling at the time, but that's so typical, isn't it? I've probably destroyed that sprocket because I heated it up way too much, but hopefully Avilia's one will work instead. I might be able to save it. We'll have a look at it afterwards. The main thing is I've got it off, and behind it, I have found some good news. That's the taper that the sprocket was just attached to. That was literally like that. That's an oil seal. It was literally sitting out like that with this big old gap. Yes, I know I've cooked it a little bit, but it's literally sitting out here. That should be in there. So it is looking like you were right. That seal was not even pressed into the case. There's no way it would have started because any crankcase pressure would have been escaping out of there. Typical. Where I'm going to get one of those seals from, I do not know, because this isn't necessarily Avilia's engine, although lots of bits maybe cross over. It's going to be a case of measuring IDs, ODs, having some phone calls, trying to order probably more than I need and hope that one of them works. But the best thing is that I can actually replace this seal from outside of the engine case. I haven't got to take the engine out and split the halves again. That is brilliant news. The bad news is I need to see what's happening on the other side, but I still cannot get that flywheel off, no matter what I'm trying. I have a bit of a conundrum. 5 or 6 days, nearly a week has gone past since I last touched the Corgi. It has just been relentless. It's been so busy filming down here for my new show. If you haven't heard about it, Dom's Cornish Workshop on UK TV. We've been having some good fun. It's been long days, but really good fun. But I'm back today and back on the Corgi. That puller that I was making did not work. So I ordered the right tool and it worked perfectly. So the flywheel was removed and it's exposed what looks like the seal, but it looks like the back of a seal. And I'd quite like to see what's on the other side of it. Whilst it's on the bench and half in pieces, do I just commit and tear it apart? This is my dilemma. All week I've been thinking about what to do. And I've come down to the workshop this morning and concluded I'm going to take the engine apart. I can at least have a look at the bearings, have a look at the seals and really know what I'm working with. I think it's the only way to know for sure that the seals are all good.
This was never supposed to be the plan. This was supposed to be a fairly straightforward recommissioning, getting it running and back on the road so I can ride it up and down the field from the house to the workshop. I really believed when I first picked up this Corgi that I'd be able to get it working fairly quickly. And to be fair, most of this project has been okay, but this engine is really testing me. This is the first project that I think I've worked on that it's so hard to find any parts for. The Triumph Tiger was a much bigger project than I ever thought it was going to be. If you haven't seen those videos, you can go back and watch them. That ended up being a huge job. But I had Monty at the end of the phone who had every single part you could ever imagine for that bike. Same for the aerial. Every washer, seal, nut, gasket was available for that aerial. So it makes the restoration so much easier. This little Corgi is a completely different beast. Nothing is available. No companies make parts. I haven't got any workshop manuals or exploded diagrams of what's inside the engine. The only way of trying to find these parts is to measure and cross-reference them with other existing engines like a Villiers or other engines of that era that could possibly work with modification. It has been a struggle. Yes. Oh, amazing. It worked. Nearly another week has gone past and I have struggled so much to find these crankcase seals for the Corgi engine. This is not a Villiers engine, that's the trouble. It seems to be Brockhouse's own engine that I cannot find any parts for. It's been such a pain, but look what has just turned up. I have got some brand new seals and I really hope these are going to be the right size for the crankcase, either side of the crank, and the one for the back of the clutch basket. Hopefully this is what we need to get the Corgi back together. This has been such a roller coaster, I do apologise. Now I can start my pile of good bits. New gasket, both halves of the crankcase, new seals. Just finding these seals has taken way over a week. To be at this point now where I have to strip the engine down again and completely strip it to nothing and rebuild it is a pain, but it will be worth it if I can get it running. That end goal of kicking it over and it firing up and me being able to use it and ride around on it and enjoy it keeps me going. Fingers crossed we can get it working. With all three of the new crankcase oil seals installed, I can now start rebuilding the engine and get it all back together. It was not quite plain sailing. Typically you'd expect to put the crankcase halves back together and then work from there, but the way this engine is designed, it's kind of got the two crankcase halves, another bracket, that bracket holds the gearbox and it all kind of bolts itself to each other and bolts to the frame. So I ended up sort of loosely bolting it all together and then getting it into the frame and then tightening everything down. It's a bit of an interesting one.
I really am against the clock today. This is quite stressful, but the engine is going back together. I'm just going to slide the clutch components in, get them all in place, get the chain, the primary drive chain on, and then that is actually this side complete. Then I need to do the other side, which is going to be ignition, and I do need to not forget this little drain tap. This was underneath. A few of you did comment actually that this lever was open in the previous video, which would have let crankcase pressure out. Yes, you're right, you eagle-eyed viewers. I did leave it to drain and forgot to close it, but this wasn't the whole problem, but part of the problem. I have taken it apart, cleared it out, tested it. It's looking good. It's ready to go back on.
Luckily, because the engine had literally just been apart already, once the crankcase halves and the gearbox and everything was in the frame, the rest of it was fairly plain sailing. The barrel slid back on really nicely, the head bolted on really nicely, all the nuts and bolts are loose. I've already had them taken off once before, so it was really quite straightforward. There was no fights with anything trying to get it back in place. It went together really quite nicely. I have also blown through the exhaust and cleared the exhaust because a few of you commented saying maybe the exhaust is blocked, which is highly possible as this sat in a shed for so long. You know, anyone could have moved in there, but they haven't. The exhaust is clear. I just wish it would run.
Spike, would you give us a hand lifting this off? Sure. Do you mind? New engine seals, it's all back together.
Right.
So it should run. 3, 2, 1. How's that? I might go down one more actually.
Yeah.
So when it runs, I can ride it off, no? Yeah.
Off that, do the little jump off the end.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you.
Looks good.
It looks good,
Yeah.
just doesn't run.
No.
What's wrong now? Seriously. Fuel's on, got a spark. Bottom tap is closed. Seals are all good. Oh, it's not even trying. I'm not usually one for giving up, but after the day I've had, or the week I've had trying to find these seals, get this all together, get it ready, and it still won't go. Once, whilst the camera wasn't rolling, I kicked it and it coughed twice, which gave me hope. So I've been trying for the last half an hour, taking the plug out, cleaning the plug, heating it up, letting it, you know, because I've probably flooded it, checking the fuel, making sure the carb is all nice and clear, which it is, checking it's got a spark, which it does. I don't know what else it could be. The most annoying thing is I've run out of time and I'm really, it's gonna look like I'm giving up on it, which I hate, but I've got a busy few weeks ahead. We've got Bewley Auto Jumble coming up, we've got Goodwood Revival coming up. So I've got the next few weeks, well, a month nearly, are flat out busy. I'll obviously be taking you along for the ride, and I desperately wanted to get this Corgi done and wrapped up and riding before then, that it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. So this is not the end, I'm not giving up, but I'm out of ideas for now. I might try and find time to go and see Sam Lovegrove to borrow his roller starter, and we could spin it up with the roller, because, well, I mean, I'm kicking it and it's actually only turning over like twice, which is probably not helpful. I've done a compression test. Everything I can think to try, I've tried. If any of you have got any more pointers, I'm all ears. I'm exhausted. It's been a really long week and I've still got to load the van with my tools, so I better get out of here. Sorry, it's another sad end to the Corgi and the last time you'll see it for a while, I think, until this next month is over. But I will say we have got some exciting videos coming up. And as you can see, The workshop here is really taking shape now. I've actually started painting walls. We're getting that far. So normal progress will resume very soon. We'll be back to working on the Porsche. We'll be back to, you know, doing Ranelagh projects and updates and actual proper work soon. The building works here is taking over everything, but we're nearly there. It's coming together. A huge thank you again to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click on the link below in the description or go to surfshark.com/domc to get 4 extra months completely free of Surfshark VPN. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, Sunday, 5 p.m. And hopefully it'll be a more positive video. Who knows? I'm at a bit of a loss, but I'm done. I'm gonna pack my tools and hit the road. I'll see you next week.